Welcome my constant reader friends. I'm Tad and this is Tad Reads Books and Stuff. Alright, so we've got two things I really want to talk about today, and I'm going to try to keep it as quick as I can. If you watch my videos for any time, I can start rambling off at the mouth and have some long videos. So let's keep going. Real quick update. We are going to discuss Stephen King's Nightmares and Dreamscapes. Of course, this is part of my Shorty King project that I am doing this year. We're going to discuss this today. Next month, this month, July, that's from June. July, we're doing Hearts in Atlantis. The next book in my Shorty King project, we'll be starting that shortly. I did begin Hugh Howey's Shift. This is book 2 in the Silo series, and I've made pretty good progress. I'm on chapter 44 or page 290, which is a little more than halfway through the book. We'll probably get that done this week and discuss this book next week. Okay, so that's my updates. I haven't started any other projects. Haven't even started my Anathema yet. I know, but I've got a couple months. But what are you doing, Ted? Well, first off, I'm growing a beard. I kind of started my last video. Finally, where I work, 2023, we're finally allowed to wear beards where I work. So this is my attempt at growing a beard. Let me know if you don't like it in the comments. That's fine. Also, because it's so freaking cold out, I decided I had to wear a hat to keep my head warm. Yeah, no, it's crazy hot outside. Unbelievable already. But check out this shirt. This is a major award. Yep, you're right. I won this. So I'm watching some YouTube, Booktube videos, and I'm watching another bibliophile reads. And he is doing a package opening that he had received from BADisRAD 2. And she's another booktuber, if you're not familiar. I'll link everybody's information below. BADisRAD 2 had sent him a package with 2 trashy novels and a t-shirt that she made. And the t-shirt and the trashy novels were in preparation for Garb August. As you can see, I have a shirt that says Garb August. How did I get this amazing shirt? Well, at the end of this video, another bibliophile reads discusses that through his channel, he and BADisRAD 2 were hosting a giveaway. And the giveaway was 2 trashy novels and a t-shirt, a Garb August t-shirt that she was going to make. But what is it for? If you haven't heard, Garb August is a reading event for trashy novels. And of course, it's going to be done in August. Garb August. Garbage August reads. And this is a reading event that was started by Criminally blog. That's his Booktube channel. Criminally blog. Again, I'll put all these links down below. Well, Criminally blog has gotten together with 12 other hosts. Very popular Booktube channels, much more popular than mine. And they have come up with this month of August where you read trashy novels. Now, they've got 4 weekly prompts to give you an idea or give you, help trying to pick out what books to read in August. And I think I'm going to try it because I entered that giveaway and I won. So BADisRAD 2 made me a beautiful Garb August t-shirt. She asked me what color, what size, and what I wanted on the shirt. I said, of course, I want the Garb August. And if you could throw something in there Cthulhu-esque, a little H.P. Lovecraft-esque, and you can see my different Lovecraftian monsters. Awesome, thank you. Of course, I had to trim it up here a little bit. And she sent me 2 trashy novels, which will help me on my way to doing the Garb August read. And she asked me, she had a couple that she was offering up and asked me what I wanted. I said, well, surprise me, but I do like redheads. So she gave me 2 books. Let me show you what she sent me. Carter Brown, The Body. There was only one way a call girl could quit the racket, as a corpse. And the corpses were piling up. Over 25 million Carter Brown books in print. Look at this baby. Carter Brown. Never heard of Carter Brown, never read it. It's a Signet mystery book. Chicks are his hobby, but killers are his business. It's a private eye. And of course there's a scantily clad woman on the cover. So that's going to be one book. Thank you very much, BADisRAD. And of course another bibliophile reads. And the second book is a Shel Scott novel by Richard S. Prather. And this is Gat Heat. Over 40 million Shel Scott books sold. Yep. A beautiful, sexy redhead on the cover. I've got to read this. A pagan orgy ends in murder. Who doesn't love a pagan orgy? Everyone loves a pagan orgy. Oh, when a wealthy man named Halstead summoned Shel Scott to his palatial villa in the Hollywood Hills, he told the cotton-haired private eye he'd fill him in on arrival. But when Shel entered the well-tended garden, he found his newest client lying in the exotic foliage, not only nude, but also very dead. Can't wait. So there's 2 books that I can use in my Garb August read. And I'm going to put the links below for these. There's also, you can look it up, hashtag Garb August, if you want to look at some other videos from these people, if you're not familiar with them. Like I said, 12 other hosts, very well-known Booktube personalities. So that's why I'm wearing my beautiful Garb August t-shirt. All right, now let's get to Stephen King's Nightmares and Dreamscapes. All right, this is a honkin' big book. My version, this is a first. My mother gave it to me for Christmas one year. And let's just get the numbers out of the way. This was published in 1993. My version has 816 pages. And currently on Goodreads, it's a 3.95 rating. I gave it 4 stars. Not perfect, but better than average. You know, a good, decent, average book, I'll give it 3. But better than average for me. I enjoyed it. But yeah, it is huge. This has, what does it have? 22 short stories, but Stephen King, not so short. 1 poem, interesting. And he's got a story in here. It's not really a story, it's an essay in here. So what I'm going to do is to try to keep this video short. I'm not going to go into full discussion about each of the stories since there's so many. I'm just going to try to hit them real quick for you, okay? So I had to take notes, so I'm going to try to keep myself, short. All right, first off, number 1, Dolan's Cadillac. A lot of people are familiar with Dolan's Cadillac. There actually was a TV series for some of these stories for a while back in the day. can't remember when. I never watched it. I just actually saw it on YouTube. Anyways, Dolan's Cadillac. It's a revenge story. A guy seeks revenge for the murder of his wife. Interesting. Involves, of course, a Cadillac. Stephen King loves his cars, right? Number 2, The End of the Whole Mess. All right. This one is one of those stories. Be careful what you ask for. You might just get it. Again, I'm trying to keep this short here. Number 3, Suffer the Little Children. So this is actually another school shooting story for Stephen. Also involves the bathroom. He must have had some tragic experiences going to the bathroom when he was in grade school or something. I don't know. Several of his stories, things happen in the school bathroom. I don't know what that is. All right, next. Number 4, The Night Flyer. This is a vampire story taking place on an airplane. Once again, Stephen King has a fear of flying, airplanes, the Langoliers. He's got a story in the Fear of Flight book. He talks about his fear of flying oftentimes in books. The next story after that is called Popsy, and it is directly related to the fear of flying. It is another vampire story. Very interesting. I'm trying not to give a lot away on these two. Number 6, It Grows on You. So this is another Castle Rock story. It's interesting. It's about this house. I don't know if I want to say haunted house, but it's very Lovecraftian, of course. And this house seems to grow and get larger on its own. Interesting. Number 7, Chattery Teeth. Oh, geez. Some people love this story. I didn't really like this story that much. Very reminiscent of Skeleton Crew and the monkey story. The story of a possessed toy. That's Chattery Teeth. Next, number 8, Dedication. All right. If there's any story that you might want to skip in this book, you might want to skip Dedication just because of the gross out factor. This is one pretty freaking gross story. I'm not going to get into it. But it's kind of a voodoo witchy story. A lady needs something done. She goes to the local voodoo or witch lady in the neighborhood and does a spell. Other than it being gross, though, I actually like the story. I thought it was kind of fun. I don't want to talk too much, but there's some other issues with that story too. Stephen King trying to write Southern black woman's vernacular. Not the greatest thing in the world. Anyways, next. The Moving Finger. Okay. Another crazy ass weird fiction, story that takes place mostly in a bathroom. That's all I'm going to say. Next, Sneakers. Number 10. This is cool. It's kind of takes place in a recording studio, and it's basically a ghost story. Next, number 11. You know they got a hell of a band. So another music theme-ish story. This is, imagine you come upon this ghost, this abandoned, it looked like abandoned town, but it turns out to be like a ghost town, populated by dead rock and roll famous people. Next, number 12, Home Delivery. This is a cool story. This is a cool zombie story taking place on an island in Maine. So they're a little bit separated from the rest of the main land. Interesting. I liked it. Another good story. Next, Rainy Season. Number 13, Rainy Season. So, have you ever heard of, it raining frogs? Well, in this story, this town, every 7 years on the exact same day, it rains toads. And these toads are man-eaters. These toads are nasty-ass toads. And then they disappear the next morning. It becomes a ritual in the town. I think it's a sacrifice type thing. Read it. It's a fun story. Next, number 14, My Pretty Pony. This really is a touching, sad story of growing old, coming to the end of your life, and the discussion, and we've all said it in our lives, I'm sure, as we're getting older, it seems like time goes faster as you get older. It's very, very touching story. Nice little story. Next, 15. Sorry, right number. This is interesting. Mysterious voice on the phone that might just be yours. Good story. Next, number 16. The 10 o'clock people. So this is another of his like smoker stories. He you know, like Quitters Incorporated. He must have had an issue smoking and trying to quit smoking in his life. So something he writes about, of course, you know, write what you know. That's Stephen King for sure. It's a weird smokers group story. Check it out. It's cool. Crouch End. Crouch End is just flat out unadulterated H.P. Lovecraft. About this town with some weird shit. Good story. I like it. I like H.P. Lovecraft. Number 18. The House on Maple Street. So this is interesting. So this house starts to grow inside the walls an exoskeleton of some sort, or internal skeleton of some sort, but it actually is becoming like a spaceship. And this spaceship basically saves a family from their evil, abusive stepfather. Next, number 19, The Fifth Quarter. This is a noir heist story involving a treasure map. Good story. I liked it. I like noir stories. He's got several in here. Next, number 20, The Doctor's Case. So this basically is a Sherlock Holmes pastiche, but in this case, actually, Dr. Watson solves the case for once before Sherlock. It's a fun story. Number 21, I don't know how to say it, Umnes, U-M-N-E-Y', Last Case. Another noir story. He kind of has grouped some of these together. The two vampire stories, the two stories that involve rock and roll to a degree, ghost stories, things like that. He kind of groups them together, pretty cool. This one is another noir type detective story. However, this guy, his final case is a case about him. Not so much, investigating a murder of himself, which we've seen, but this is a 1930s detective finds out he's a fictional character. All right, next. This is where we get into his essay. This is called Head Down, and it's just an essay about Little League baseball tournament, going all the way through to the Little League Championship, and it's a main team from 1989 that he discusses. Stephen King loves his baseball, because next, number 23 is Brooklyn August, and that's his little poem, again, about baseball. Last but not least, well, after that is his notes. You think you're done. He likes to put notes, especially at the end of his compilation books, giving you a little information about the writing of each story. But after the notes, there's actually another little short story, and it's called The Beggar and the Diamond, and it's actually a short Hindu parable. It's not an original story. It's his telling of an old Hindu short story. I, to be honest, really don't have any clue why it's here. I don't know. It doesn't really go with the rest of the book, but it's there. Anyway, so there you go. That's Nightmares and Dreamscapes. Now, in the beginning of the book, Stephen King does talk about this, in his eyes, as being the third in a trilogy of compilation novels. Of course, starting with Night Shift, then Skeleton Crew, and then thirdly, Nightmares and Dreamscapes. I see what he's doing there. He was just bunching together a bunch of his short stories and kind of putting them in some type of chronological order, you know, when he wrote them. Very big, very long. I see some people that have been bashing it because I think they try to read it linearly. I don't think you have to read it linearly from front to back like it's a novel. People complain about not developing the characters enough. It's a short story, people. I know his short stories are 30 pages or so, usually, in these, but that's what it's. They're short stories. They're fun. They're entertaining as all get out. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to say I enjoyed it as much as Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew is one of my favorites. But Night Shift and this are pretty good. It's not as good as, you know, it's better than 4 Past Midnight, but not as good as Different Seasons so far. But I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. I think you would enjoy it too. You just don't have to sit down and try to read it, you know, from front to back. Just pick a story out here and there. Very interesting. I think you'll enjoy it. I hope you're enjoying my Shorty King Project read-through of Stephen King's compilation books. Next, of course, we're going to be hitting Hearts in Atlantis, and we'll go on from there. Hopefully we'll get it all done by the end of the year. All right, so if you enjoyed anything in this video, please like, subscribe, and as always, leave me tons of comments. I love the comments. And until next time, peace out.